All right, guys, so kit management on your Analog 4. So this will be somewhat similar to the one I just did on the Rytm, but I had a request to do it on the 4 as well, for those of you that might not have a Rytm. So a kit, what does it hold? It holds 4 sounds. It holds the effects parameters. It holds the CV parameters. It also holds performance information. And then it finally holds polyphony settings. So if your kit is a polyphonic kit, it will retain that information as well. I do also have a video on polyphony, on making your Analog 4 polyphonic. So go ahead and check that out if you want to know about that. So kits are definitely interesting. Kits are tied to patterns. One kit can be tied to multiple patterns. So I only have, let's see, I have a couple here. So on this pattern C1, I have my paunch kit, which contains a bass sound. Kind of a lead sound a little bit, and then a filtered lead sound. And then I have like a pad here. So those are the 4 sounds, and then effects parameters, chorus. This is where, of course, when you press effects, you can set all your effects. I'm not going to go into that, but whatever you change in this menu will be retained in the kit. So if you have a pattern with multiple kits, like say I copy this pattern, let's see, copy, I'll just copy it over here to 9, paste. So now I have a duplicate pattern here on 1 and 9. If I change the kit on pattern 1 here, so let's see, I'll take this bass sound and just add like a bunch of effects. So if I go over to pattern, well, I was on pattern 9, so if I go back to pattern 1, you can hear that the effects are still on that kit because that kit is tied to both of the patterns. So if you want to make your own kit, the best way to do that is to start over here and press clear kit. Clear kit, confirm. So what I just did is I cleared the current kit that I had. However, if you go over here to kit and say you want to load it, you'll notice that the kit that I just cleared is still there. So clearing, it's kind of misleading in the sense that it doesn't really clear, it doesn't like delete the kit. It just makes it so you can start over from a fresh kit. So what we have here is just 4 basic sounds. So that's the best way to start with a new kit. So another interesting thing is you can actually copy kits over from other projects. So this is probably one problem that you'll run into almost immediately. You might make a project, you might spend all this time making a kit, and then you start another project and you say, where did all my kits go? It is kind of frustrating. In my opinion, the easiest way to deal with that is just copying and pasting kits. So the only problem with that is if you have, say, like, 50 kits or something that you need to copy over, that's going to be really time consuming. So the best way to deal with that is to just copy the whole project onto a new project, and then you would have to go through and delete all the patterns. But that way, once you delete all the patterns, you can start with a fresh project, but you'll still have all the kits there. So let me show you what I mean. I'm sure you're all well aware the presets project has a ton of different kits on it. So what I did is I have this other project here called Full 1, Oh, don't want to save it. Let's load it. So full one, I just named it that because that's like my full Elektron setup. But anyway, if you go over to my kits in that project, you'll notice that I have all the kits from the preset project. So the way that I did that is, again, I just copied the project over to another one. So the way you do that is you go over here, function copy, so you've copied the project, and then you go over to create new and you paste that. Now the weird thing about this is it doesn't show up right away. Back out of there, go back into load project, and boom, you have a presets project that you just copied over. So you can load that, and then you'll notice when you go to kits, bam, you have all the kits from the preset project. So say you want just one of these kits in your new project, you can go here to the kit manager, press, say I want this finish one, press function copy, copy finish, and then let's say I want that over in my 4.1 project. Then I go back to the kits menu here, and then you can just go to load kit and then hit function paste. Yes, bam, there you go. You have your new kit. Go ahead and actually load it. There you go. So that's a little bit, I hope that helps. That's pretty much a basic rundown of how to use kits. Now, another question I did have on the Rytm one is that how do you determine which pattern gets what kit? So say you go over, so we're on the finished kit right now, the one that I copied over. So say we want to start a new pattern. Let's just go over here, pattern 13. So what happens when we start a new pattern? You'll notice that the kit just carried over from the last pattern. So this is something you definitely want to be aware of. Like I mentioned before, multiple patterns can have the same kit. So if you don't want, you know, the changes you make to one pattern to affect another pattern's kit, then you need to make sure that you save the kit in a different slot. And so that's why you have a number of kits available in one project. You have 128. So essentially you can have one unique kit per pattern that you can actually have in a whole project. So that's why they give you 128 kits. So in this case, if I don't want 13, if I make changes to this finish kit and I don't want it to affect the other patterns, then I need to make sure I go back to the kit menu, save it, and then I could potentially save it in this slot and just name it like finish A or finish, you know, you could name it after the pattern, so that way it's easier for you to remember. So this pattern was C13, so at the end here I could just, you know, easily put C13. So that's one way to approach that. So anyway, that should be it for today, to keep it short. Hope that helps you guys. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will be doing another kit video coming up here very soon, sooner than the last two, and I'm going to be talking about how to transfer sounds over to your Analog 4, and then of course the subsequent kit management that comes with that. So thank you guys so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.